And we're back, just about ready to get Game 1 underway here in our opening game of today's ADL broadcast. Going to have Trademark Esports taking on Meenix. Now, here in just a second, I'm going to actually do something super unprofessional just because I'm trying to train myself to use smooth drag. And for whatever reason, Dota, whenever it is restarted, disables it, no matter what you happen to have it set as previously. But can't do that now as both teams coveting the same piece of real estate. Going to be the Radiant Jungle. I'm here in AC Chambers, by the way. Thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in, making us a part of your broadcast day, no matter what corner of the world you happen to call home. I'm joined by Robert Beat as Tennis, and he'll be chiming in just a moment. For now, I'm going to let me jaw, because we're about to have some action. A little bit of harassment under there. There's going to be a disruption right behind, and here we go. And that is a very dead hero. First blood on the board. Nice shackle shot, unfortunately, came a little too late. So first blood goes on the board quick, fast, and in a hurry. And that's going to be the one hero you didn't want to have die early. Not that it matters, given how little gold she had to lose. But still, first blood goes the way of Meenix. Nice start to this game for the B-Diz.
Yep, and that was a well-thought-out gank coming from Meenix. They, when they picked their last support in Lina, I knew that they were going to look to lane Darkseer aggressively and go with an aggressive tri-lane to try and shut down Luna's farm. Luna is the only real source of damage coming out from Team Tough Low Mistakes. Don't get me wrong, they've got a lot of magic damage on their team, but as far as physical damage goes, it's really just going to be the Luna since this Windrunner support. Right. Unless we see a Magnus that goes for, you know, like a Daedalus build or something, but I highly doubt that. He tends to get more utility items. So they want to shut down his early farm. Instead of utilizing Darkseer for his team fight, they're utilizing him for a strong laning phase with us. And the Shadow Demon plus laning combination, something we've seen time and time again, is they're initiating again up here on the Windrunner this time.
And I just got disconnected from Dota, so I'm going to transition it back. That might be them bringing the servers down. Was that just me, or did it happen to anyone else?
Nope, that was just you, unfortunately.
Yeah, it just... let me see if I can reconnect. It kicked me out. And the viewers see I'm not lying. It was just a random error. Totally not my fault. I'll be trying to reconnect momentarily. We knew that the maintenance was going to start at some point. So if we have to delay, I do very much apologize. But just kind of a bizarre error there. Tossed me out. And yep, actually just let me, I think it let me back in.
Yep, I see you. It's reconnected.
And I don't have a mouse pointer now. Nope, there it is. All right, let me get it back to the... There we go. Very bizarre error that time. So what did I miss?
Alright, so as first, when they engage on the Windrunner, it was nothing much. They were just using the Shadow Demon's Disruption to secure the D-Ward. Typical mistakes, drop 2 sentries trying to kill the sentry that's coming up from Meenix, blocking their pull camp. Both sentries were instead killed by the supports of Meenix, so they just knew that they could control that and get the sentry killed, so just make sure that spawn's blocked. It was a good play coming out from them.
And we can see how aggressive they're playing here, poking their nose out from the south side of the jungle. Really haven't had a lot of time to analyze how this is going to go. Magnus versus TA. Mag will be able to hang and bang with TA for a little while, but TA is just one of those heroes out of the mid position in any one-on-one. Once she gets to about level 4, level 5, especially once she hits level 6, all of a sudden you just can't cope with it. So Mag better get some last hits now, and he's doing a good job. He's got 11 under his belt. That's not going to stay that way in terms of how he's doing against the TA, unless he just flat-out out-skill differences her. But for now, got his bottle up, got his boots up, and found himself a haste rune. So a nice little start coming out there. The Luna is actually okay in last hits as well, sitting at 10 in this one-on-one matchup. Bat versus the Druid. Bat can actually bang the Druid around a little bit. He is ranged. Sticky Napalm makes it very hard on him and the Bear. And the normal harassment that you'll see a Druid be able to do just isn't nearly as effective. There's a surge on the Shadow Demon. Thought about it. Started to wind his arms up, do the little windmill motion, getting ready for the disruption, but going to go ahead and pull back and even illuminate on his way back to lane as well.
That was only about a half charge illuminate, so it wasn't really that much damage.
Yep.
He really didn't think about the angle he was shooting that at, so he had to cancel it early. As far as this Bat versus Lone Druid matchup goes, Bat should have an edge before Lone Druid hits level 5, and then after that it's all about luck. Yep. If he gets the roots, he's going to get the kills. If he, or have a chance at the kills, I should say, because Bat Rider can always Firefly and flap his way right off the map.
And many times that I've seen that happen, I've also seen it go the complete other way, where a Bat, well, you know, a Druid will just try to hang around, accidentally get 4 or 5 stacks of Sticky Napalm on him, and then the Bat takes the flight, uses one well-placed Flame Break, and all of a sudden you've got a dead Lone Druid sitting in that top lane. So that's a very chancy one-on-one matchup. And one of the things.
Sorry to cut you off, but we're not going to see that happen here. Bat Rider went for a different item build than the standard Ring of Protection. He went for a Stout Shield, then went into a bottle to have more regen. Meanwhile, the Lone Druid, he's already got a Magic Stick up, and he also has Boots. Yeah. Him having Boots means that until his Bat Rider farms Boots, he's safe.
Right. So
it's going to be a little while before Bat even has a chance, and we already see almost level 5 popping off for Lone Druid.
You're in mid. Taking a look at. I didn't even have a chance to run through the lineups. I usually do that. I especially want to do that a lot here in the ADL because the purpose of this, not just for me, but for the viewers. I want you guys to get acquainted with the lineups of all these players. So as soon as I feel confident after this rune, I may try to do so. It is going to be denied by Fun, and Fuzzy says, no, that's not fun. You're not allowed to do that. And going to get some real good damage done. One more auto attack. That's just a level 1 Windrunner. He salves through. One more auto attack, and that's going to be a death. Nice skewer. Magnus there to the rescue. And Fun turns at shackle shots. Got 2 heroes. Playing a little cheeky. No reason for him to have done that, but hey, what the hell? If you're going to get away with some style. So very nice play there. Now, if I can, which I might not because Sheep is being pursued out, would love to tell everyone who's playing who. Okay, now I think I can do so. On the side of TM, gonna have, can't read it because he won't, there we go. Gonna have Fan of So Ewan playing on the Luna. Gonna have Keeper of the Light handled by I'm the Sheep. Bad Rider gonna be played by Cakes. Magnus gonna be handled by Ryu and Mid, and Windrunner gonna be played by Fun. Cheeky little Fun that he is. Then we're gonna have Tiao playing on the Darkseer on the other side of the river. TA handled in mid by Fuzzy. Lena gonna be played by Sono. Shadow Demon gonna be played by Geezy. And the Lone Druid going to be handled by China. So take an early look at the CS. We can see Magnus and Bat near the top, 27-22. The TA right behind them with 21. 21 also in the back pocket of the Luna, 17 and 16 respectively for the Druid and the Darkseer. Everyone else reaping the barrel.
But I'm really surprised by how much CS they're letting this Luna have. They're not really pressuring him as much as they're pressuring the supports in this bottom lane.
Yep.
As you see, the Windrunner is still level 1. 100 experience in almost 6 minutes now. That's not what you want to see if you're on typical mistakes. That's a support here that when you run as a support, you still want to get a lot of levels.
Oh, yeah.
In Shackle Shot and especially Power Shot to help defend your towers and get damage in team fights.
Yep, and, you know, in all honesty, they should be able to find that experience between the Keeper and the Windrunner once she gets level 2 at least. Between Illuminate and Power Shot, they'll be able to stack and farm some of the jungle camps. For now, though, I'm a Sheep. Gonna be spotted out. Oh, nice Lucent Beam, and oh, good disruption. Buys himself some time. Here comes the TP, though. Geezy will be picked up with one less auto attack. RP at Ryu's disposal, and he's gonna go hunting. Sono in no man's land has spotted Fun. Actually, other way around. Fun spots Sono. Throws the shackle, doesn't latch. Mag is there with the skewer ready to go, and will catch, and Light Strike Array, just enough. One last auto attack, though. Actually, it was the Lucent Beam that cleaned her up, so I thought for sure we were going to see Ryu go ahead and spin the RP, but showing some good judgment there, holding on to it just in case he needs it later.
And if you want to go for a dive like that, which Meenix just did, you need to check TP status on the opposing team solos. They had a feeling that Fun wasn't around, so they went in knowing that it was 3v2 initially. But one, that was a great job of hiding, coming out from typical mistakes, getting off a full Illuminate, following it up with a rank 3 Lucent Beam, because Luna's been, like, Windrunner hasn't gotten experience, but that means more for Luna, more for the Coddle. They're 5, almost 6, and 4 on the Coddle. So it's just overextension, not having a TP, not having level 3 on Shadow Demon. If he had Shadow Poison to scout them, that also wouldn't have happened, because he could have just disrupted one of them and gotten a Lena follow-up and Darkseer in there as well. Instead of Shadow Demon just dying at the start. Taking
a look at the levels, we can see quite an edge, as you had mentioned, going the way of typical mistakes. 7 and 7 on the Bat and the Mag. 7 for the TA. Lone Druid's right there at 6. Luna, not the highest level, but as you mentioned, really getting a lot more farm than I would have expected. And Meenix has done a decent job of putting on pressure, but I think you said it best. They're pressuring the supports and getting some gains out of it. The Windrunner still...
Engagement on top lane.
And there we go. This is what I was talking about. You said it wasn't going to happen, Beat Is. Well, you got a lie, Beat Is.
You said not until the Bat Rider gets his boots, which he's got now.
But anyway, the Bat managing to get a very high-profile kill, bringing down that Lone Druid. And that, you know, again, it's such a chancy matchup, as Beat Is was talking about. It's one of those matchups where if the Druid gets 1 or 2 fortuitous roots, especially if he's able to get 2 back-to-back, you can see a dead Bat Rider very, very easily if he allows himself to be chipped away upon before regenning. But, yeah, I mean, you just cannot allow yourself to get much more than 3 or 4 stacks of sticky napalm. By the time we got the camera up there to look at that lone druid, he already had 6. So 8 minutes in, 3-0. Typical mistakes, very, very slowly, subtly, quietly grinding themselves out a decent lead. We're going to see Mag now picked off, though, so the Magnus being picked off. However, the Bat's there does not have lasso. 30 seconds on cooldown. Fuzzy gonna eat a stack or 2 of the sticky napalm. Flame break, a little bit of a parting gift, but will make it back to his base. Now we're gonna see Geesey in trouble. Fun's there. Shackle not gonna be shot. Now it will be. Oh, he went for it off the creep. Short-armed it a little bit. Now the disruption, just again as a yeah, I mean business kind of a spell, not really accomplishing much. But 4-2. Typical mistakes. It sounds like B-Diz might be having a little bit of bandwidth issues. So, B-Diz, are you there? Can you hear me? Nope. Looks like, yeah. Some problems continuing on the side of B-Diz. Hopefully everything's going well. Otherwise, on my end, if it's not, I'm not really sure what I can do. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that. But, okay, that makes no sense. I should be coming through the stream just fine. I have no idea why there would be anything playing. There is nothing playing anywhere on this computer. Unless there's just an error of some really odd sort. And I think I suspect where it might be coming from. So let me see if I can deal with that. There's some work being done on the system. I'm hoping I sound okay right now. Hello? Yeah, that's not going to work. So, I'm hoping I'll get some feedback on it right now. I honestly have no idea. I changed nothing. The music is... If you're hearing music, it should not be there. That's all I really know to ask. But, sorry. Alright, I'm going to... I guess maybe a Skype error? Okay, I sound fine on Twitch. That was my question. Yeah, that's weird. I have no idea what it was, so... I'll work on getting B-Diz back for the next game. Right now, unfortunately, unable to do anything about it, as we do have some action that I do have to take care of, so... B-Diz, I'm sorry, brother. We'll try to bring you in on the next one, but just want to focus on this cast. Want to make sure everyone enjoys themselves. Glad it wasn't actually a problem on Twitch or anything else. But as it stands, Meenix hooking up. Going to try to take themselves a tower. And the tier 1 tower, going to be Glyph. They are TPing in. Here's Ryu. He's going to have an RP at his disposal.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But, moving on. They do manage to keep the tower up and running. And, of course, it will just be me. We'll try to get B-Diz back on and resolve whatever issue happened to be taking place. For now, they're looking to reinitiate. There's a Shackle, not going to latch. They're going to cut through. As Bat, burning his way down, looking for a target, has a lasso. He's very close to his Blink Dagger. Does not want to give up an unnecessary death here. Manages to pull the creeps. He's got help behind him as well, Ryu. Again, short of his Blink Dagger, about 800 to go.
Radiant's middle tower
And Luna continues to just free farm bottom. She's up to level 8. Up at top, Meenix continues to hold the line fairly well. Fuzzy is going to go ahead and rotate back to mid. Wit phase and is going to skip the Blink Dagger entirely and just go straight up for survivability. And I'm not sure that's the right call, really. Looking at Meenix's lineup, they don't have all that great of initiation. Darkseer is great in team fights, gives you, AoE damage, really confuses things, of course, with Vacuum Wall. But he's not someone you want to use as your primary initiator. He's too easy to lock down, especially with a team like Typical Mistakes is drafted. So in a pinch, a TA that has done well in mid, and she has, sitting at 55 last hits, very near the top of the board.
Radiant's bottom tower
You'll see a
is under
TA
attack.
want to get up a blink dagger very, very quickly because she can serve as a poor man's initiator. The fact that she can blink in, start a fight by melding and attacking down a primary target while the rest of your team engages behind you and you survive via refraction. And without that, the fact that she is just going pure survivability, she's building basically as an off carry, which I don't mind entirely. Just because, again, the Lone Druid benefits immensely from having someone to help carry the load while he farms up his items and really farms his way to relevancy. But for now, I just worry how Meenix is going to be able to do anything in terms of a fight. The Bat's got his blink now. Mag's going to have his in about 500 gold. And there's just so many ways for typical mistakes to get these fights underway. So many ways for them to pick off the damage dealers. And Meenix has a fantastic supporting cast, but it's mostly single target counter initiation from the supports. Darkseer can serve that role to a certain extent, but the chances are, I mean, if I'm in typical mistake shoes, until the Druid really begins to hit hard, he and his bear begin to hit hard, I'm just going to focus the Darkseer and the TA in every fight. If I can use the lasso on TA and then wait for the Darkseer, and they're going to get a solo kill on bottom though, as the Bad Riders rotated down. But if I can lasso the TA and then force the Darkseer to run in, then look to hit a reverse polarity, that's perfect. Off of that kill, Meenix will take themselves to tier 1. The rest of typical mistakes, opting not to push in. Tough to push into a Darkseer. Fuzzy had rotated his way over as well. Just about 300 gold for picking up that Mithril Hammer. So not far from having the Blink Dagger done. About 1,600 in total you'll need to finish the Blink Dagger. On the side of typical mistakes, the Luna going very typical stuff, oddly enough. Drums and Accolade. I guess you could say that's a little atypical now. For the most part, it'll be down to a personal choice, but most players will just get one of those two items, usually not both. And instead, prioritize getting a Yasha or a Yasha BKB, or just straight up after the drums or after the Accolade going 100% BKB. Shadow Blade is a choice that you'll occasionally see players make, but it's really not nearly as stable. Now we're going to have a smoke. There's a catch on the Windrunner. Sona going to be there. Well-timed and well-executed gank as the Light Strike Array followed the disruption perfectly. And yeah, we're just going to see Luna get the hell out of dodge. It's like, yep, never mind. Bottom lane, not where I need to be. Mag is there. Fuzzy going to be chased back to his own tower. Druid does manage to take a tower down in bottom. So Meenix is playing their way into this nicely. And this comes down to what I was talking about, especially with the option of TA to skip that Blink Dagger. Hold on. Knight. Whoa. Okay, RP not necessary there. Got there just in time to see. And Ryu putting his ulti on cooldown for 2 minutes for really no reason. Now, if I'm in Meenix's shoes, I'm going to want to do something with that. They've got 2 minutes. Magnus just picked up his Blink Dagger. And they're going to have the TA back up here shortly. They have to know that with Lasso on cooldown just for about a minute more, but a minute and a half on Magnus, nope, looks like they just want to fall back. But yeah, totally unnecessary RP. Little too eager. It's okay, we all get that way sometimes. Want to drop the hammer and make sure the kill definitely takes place. But at any rate, we're 16 minutes into this game, and it's a very tight one. The gold hovering right near the 0 line. The experience up near 4,000, give or take. And disruption on Keeper of the Light allows them to withdraw. But yeah, what Meenix was doing is really the way they're going to have to do this. They need to free this map up and let the Druid farm. They don't have great initiation. They're not a team who can take fights just 5-on-5 confidently whatsoever. So the only other option they have is smoke. Smoke up, look to make individual plays, take heroes off the board, and keep typical mistakes on their side of the map just because they're always running as 4 and not as 5. And give this guy and this big bear a chance to farm. Armlet done on the bear as we see. And we'll see what he wants to grab next. Maelstrom, pretty much the most typical item. And yeah, perfect play out of Meenix. This is what they have to do. And I appreciate this so much. Even at the tip-top level of play, you'll occasionally see teams trying to do something their lineup isn't really geared to do. And this time, they're doing what they need to do. They're going to look to isolate individual targets. That's what their team is predicated on. especially with so much damage coming out of the TA. All of their physical damage till the Druid decides to get more involved is going to be coming out of that TA. Everything else just going to be magic damage. Speaking of magic damage, level 7 on Lena, she has Laguna Blade ready if she wants to use it. Mech is done on Darkseer. Now that's very important, especially playing a gank-oriented sort of a lineup and trying to do what they're trying to do. You're going to want to run in a group of 3 or 4. And at some point, they're going to have to account for this Luna. She's already close to a Mithril Hammer, 400 gold till she has that. Already has the Ogre Club up, so BKB is going to be out. And she has an Aquilate, and she has drums, and she has boots. So this is a Luna that is quickly going to get out of control. We take a look at the net worth, we can see she's right up there, about 700 above the Druid. We're going to see the back go for it, manages to find Giz. And he disrupts himself. That might be enough. Yeah, he's going to get away. And they didn't quite commit to that. Just trying to make a gank happen. Here's TA spawning out the mag. And the Keeper of the Light. Oh, wow. Did he miss with that? No, he got it. But Fuzzy avoiding this using the Invis rune. They're kind of hemmed in. There's the skewer. Very well executed by the mag. Brings it back in. The RP going to be spin as well. Got to get the refraction charges out. They will be able to clean him up before the other team can, or the rest of the team can react. So Meenix loses their primary physical damage dealer. And Easy bailed out in bottom. Unable to do much of anything but go back and heal up. 7-3, 10 kills on the board in a 20-minute game. Ryu with 2 single target reverse polarities. One a little questionable. That one I can totally get behind. And right now, the game that Typical Mistakes can start to play is just one of super late game. Their Luna is sufficiently far ahead. The Druid and the TA, I mean, TA does fall off. I mean, it's not as if you want to let her just completely free farm. But the onus is going to be on Meenix in a big way. They're going to be relying a lot on Darkseer landing the vacuum wall combination the later this game goes as well. They really need to have a Luna illusion up and doing damage to her own teammates. Eek. Easy. It's a Illuminate there that almost killed him. It was a level 4 Illuminate. But if they want to just farm this to late, I think they can feel pretty confident doing so. Especially with Blinding Light to rely upon from Typical Mistakes, which might be enough to, especially given Luna's propensity to build a Butterfly. That plus Blinding Light tells me that an MKB is likely to be on the menu for this Lone Druid at some point. Looks like he's actually going to get himself a straight-up Assault Cuirass. He's got the Chainmail in his inventory already. Can't say I mind that. The problem is, the armor reduction is going to be really nice. That plus meld means they're going to be able to melt armor. But with him rushing that instead of some sort of damage item, some sort of attack, it does grant attack speed. But there's going to be this big window while he tries to farm up that expensive item. 1,200 gold in the bank so he can buy the plate mill shortly. But this should open the door. And as soon as Typical Mistakes see that, with the initiation advantage they have, and the fact that he's going to have to come fight if they start to push down towers. Right now, again, Meenix has done a great job. They still have every tier 1 still standing. Even though Typical Mistakes does lead. They don't lead by much. 1,200, give or take, in terms of gold. The experience slightly better in their favor. But they need to put it to use. If the Druid is going to go for an item like an Assault Cuirass, they have to punish it. Have to do so. He goes for a Maelstrom or a Basher, he can build into that and then start to push towers. And they can decide to sit back. But they don't want to let him continue to free farm, even if Luna is free farm. And she's actually going Yasha, BKB. And I really like this build on Luna. Always have. Call it the Jackie Chan build. I feel like it lets her fight a little bit earlier and a little bit more effectively if they do decide to fight. But it also gets her to a BKB at a good time. It's not too late. Roshan's going to be taken for free here, and I'm a little dumbfounded as to what exactly Typical Mistakes is waiting on. They have amazing initiation potential. Meenix, on the other hand, really, outside of just superb individual effort, getting a disruption on the Bat Rider's target, so on and so forth, there's just not a whole lot that they can do, especially if a nice RP is landed. Pushing, not the most effective with the Keeper of the Light on the map. This looks like they're going to force the issue with that Aegis. And Typical Mistakes has a chance to really get the job done here. If Bat were in position, that Lone Druid would have been a perfect target. There's the skewer back. They're going to get the bear. There's a shackle. Doesn't latch. Bear is picked off, though. And now here comes the bat. He's going to grab Sono. Vacuums him back. There's a disruption on the Bad Rider. So Sono will make it away. Here comes the Eclipse. That's not going to catch anything. And really just a poor engagement. Typical mistakes. Really, I mean, it was a nice play out of the Shadow Demon to disrupt the Bad Rider. Seems to be a little bit of a miscommunication, though. The rest of the team was just a little late coming to the party. And with Skewer and Blink Dagger, granted Skewer was probably on cooldown, Ryu had a real chance to get a nice RP off there. There were 3 grouped up in the river. But instead, at the very least, they keep their tower up. So they accomplished the goal of defending the tower. Take a look at Fuzzy. Closing in on that BKB. He'll have it in about 150 gold. The Darkseer, 2,300 gold in his bank. Scythe of Ice would be brilliant on him. Absolutely brilliant. Much like their own team. I mean, their own team, if the Luna is taken out of the equation, they just run over typical mistakes, basically. Especially as the game gets later. She accounts for 95% of the physical damage you're going to get most of the fights. Windrunner and Mag sure a little bit right there. But a Scythe of Ice on the Darkseer would be a game changer. Even with BKB. And she's actually going to just flat out rush a Manta. Not even opting to go BKB. And a very Owie 2000-esque sort of an approach to these ranged carries. Got the Ogre Club tanked up a bit and opted to forego the remaining parts of the BKB. 4 staff now done on the Bad Rider. So he's going to be ready to roll. If he can be quick enough with his fingers, we'll be able to avoid those disruptions like we saw disjoint the chain of initiation. There's an RP caught too, but he's going to be disrupted. Geezy probably just got that Magnus killed. He actually manages to skewer back the Bear. There's an Illuminate that caught all 4. Here's the bat. Going to move in, grabs the Druid. Got the right target that time. And he will be cleaned up. There's the Aegis gone. There's a Flame Break that knocks 2 more to the high ground. They're looking for a way to initiate again. Magnus jumped the gun. Oh, very nice vacuum right into the Laguna Blade. But, again, that mass damage spam. That mass shackle. Oh, beautiful shackle shot. Caught, too. Let's see. Can they follow it up? Geezy's gone. Meenix in trouble. He's going to be picked off. Now, only Fuzzy left still running. There's the Skewer back. And Fuzzy gonna be trying to bring down 1 as he goes, but not gonna be able to do so. That's a 5-man wipe. Shadow Demon bought back, and not really sure why. Not a whole lot he can do by himself. But right there, the fight kind of went back and forth. Could have gone either way at any point. Very nice counter initiation out of that Darkseer. That's really where he shines. But the pure spammability coming out of Illuminate, Power Shot, and Shockwave showed its strength right there. Just saw everyone on Meenix get whittled down by that magic damage. And the BKB, that's the shame of it. TA had her BKB done, just didn't have it available. The Lone Druid, working on a Basher now with the Javelin in his inventory and the Belt of Strength, waiting back in the stash. But typical mistakes. Opening up a nice little lead here. 25 minutes in, 5,000 gold, their advantage. 12,000 experience, though, is really the story. And there's going to be another one. Another lasso on Geezy. Illuminate plus Shockwave cleans him up, and the Skewer back. Wonderfully executed by Ryu. And that's going to be another free kill. There's going to be a root on Cakes, but the Blinding Light should make it a non-issue, and it will be. And Fuzzy comes in, and Windrunner flipping some lip. But 14-3. And Meenix, who really to this point I feel like has played a really good game of Dota, are just being punished for their draft, basically. The Druid a little too slow to get his items up. TA not nearly as aggressive or survivable as she would feel if she went a more typical build. BKB finally is done. That'll make the difference in terms of survivability. But, gonna be absent the Blink Dagger. Can phase in and out of fights, of course. But still, not giving you that initiation she's normally going to want. Taking a look at the Luna. Did complete the Manta style. 2,100 gold in the bank. So only about 800 gold away from being able to finish up the BKB. And she's going to start to feel huge here shortly. In fact, I mean, you look at the net worth. Yeah, she's pretty big. Pretty big. Out farming the Lone Druid by about 33% right now. And 3 of the top 4 in terms of pure net worth, all belonging to typical mistakes. Want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in today. Sorry I'm tripping over my words some. Had 2 best-of-3 broadcasts for the D2L, jumping right into the action here on the ADL. So I'm going to end up getting a little loopy from time to time. Hopefully you guys will bear with me on that. But still, while I have a moment, I do want to go ahead and thank the admins and the organizers of the ADL. I absolutely love the concept behind this tournament. Absolutely love the fact that North America and South America are getting some of their own Dota that they can show off and the rest of us can enjoy. But for now, just waiting on. Looks like we did have a reconnect, so Lena is back up and ready to roll. 26 minutes, 28 seconds into the game. And, of course, want to thank you guys for making this broadcast a success. Every time you guys tune in, and especially those who are listening via in-game, you guys support this tournament, makes it so much more likely we'll have a second season. And talking to professional players, especially talking to BDiz, talking to members of EG, and other big North American names from Dignitas Team Liquid, everyone agrees tournaments like this are so essential for the development of a scene. So essential. Because right now, American Dota is very top-heavy. You have 3 teams at the top, then everyone is not just 1 step below, but usually 2, 3 steps below. The way to shore that up is to give these teams like Meenix, like Typical Mistakes, not only the chance to beat up on each other in a professional environment, but to also give them a chance to face off against those top-tier teams, improve themselves, learn that way. And while I'm sure these players all see each other, like as BDiz has said, a lot of these names are familiar from the IXDL, but that's still not a professional environment. That is 100% different compared to this. And this is just so important. And I'm so happy and so proud to be a part of it. Back underway. 27 minutes in. Goal graph tells us what we already knew. Typical Mistakes opening up quite a large margin of lead here in gold, up near 5 digits, 10,000. 15,000 they leveled off in experience. Now, if I'm in Meenix's shoes, I mean, it's so hard to even begin to formulate a plan to take fights. I mean, they need the... It's so easy to just say, well, they need to get kills. Well, no crap. They have a team which, again, excels an individual in single target abilities. Single target DPS out of the TA, out of the Lone Druid. Single target oriented, for the most part, abilities in Lena and the Shadow Demon. But when you're up against such excellent team fight, the magic damage, again, spam, coming out of Typical Mistakes, makes it so hard for Meenix to take any of these fights. If these fights go on much longer than 15, 20 seconds, they're almost always going to wind up in the back pocket of Typical Mistakes just because they're going to get their spells off a second time. And with Mag closing in on level 3 for his ulting, not going to be getting much better. They just have so many ways to initiate. Shackle Shot, a pretty big factor in these fights as well. And we can see Meenix beginning to play back a bit. Luna's illusions split pushing on the tower. And even her illusions are beginning to do some good damage. 185 damage per auto attack right now. And 3,900 gold in the bank.
Regeneration.
So she could just about... Yeah, she could one-shot buy BKB right now if she wants to. We'll have to see what the plan's going to be. And Sono, I should say, has an eye on them. Fuzzy's right to the north, trying to close in, and there we go. There's a side trap. Oh, Light Striker Ray missed. Unfortunately, unable to pick off fans of Sonyun. But at least the Druid's getting some space to farm. And, yeah, picked up the chainmail. Now working his way to the Basher. And here we go. There's the lasso on the Sono. Knew it was coming. Fun was waiting. And Shackle Shot actually doesn't latch. So not the cleanest execution. Looks like they are all going to rotate over. Keeper brings in the Luna. They're ready to fight. They've got 3 hemmed up, making 4 hemmed up on the tower. Shackle does latch, and there's going to be a chance for a great RP. You see them spread out. They know it's coming. And there's the Magnus skewering back the bear. Darkseer gets the wall down. Good vacuum. Got almost everyone. A lot of illusions doing a lot of damage. Makes them clear out. Still an RP available if they want to use it. Heard the Shackle. Did catch the Druid again. Eating that. Now here comes the Eclipse. Luna rushes back in. Makes it a monster kill streak. Geezy and Sono trying to hold the line. There's an RP, got two. Needs to get on the other side of them. Never mind, just there to clean him up. Darkseer ends up dead. Everyone dead but the TA. And Fuzzy's like, what? There was a fight? I should have been there? Is that where I should have been? I just saw the ping on Fuzzy. And looks like Meenix not happy. Or at least the Darkseer not happy. The TA was not present at that battle. Had the TP, just didn't show up. There's Luna's butterfly. Mentioned that it was coming. And yeah, right now, Meenix is bleeding pretty profusely. 12,000 gold going the other way. Between 15 to 20,000 experience moving the other direction as well. Top two farmers on the board, Luna and the Magnus. And the levels not looking pretty either. 17, 16, 15 before you hit the highest level hero on the map for Meenix. That would be the TA. Mag is going to have his refresher like right now. He's trying to figure out how he can buy it. Sitting over at the secret shop. Go ahead, Mag. Come on, Ryu. Do it, son. There's the Perseverance. And yeah, he'll have the rest of it momentarily. Bad Rider. Most likely going for a Lincoln's. Grabs an ultimate orb. Ghost Scepter up on the keeper of the line. This is how you know a game's getting out of hand. When one team supports have full inventories and you look at Sono, he's got an urn and boots. Geezy has a magic stick, magic wand, and brown boots. That bear with his basher done. And chainmail just for the bonus armor, I reckon. +5 armor for relatively cheap. Don't blame him for that item at all, especially since he can go ahead and build it into an Assault Cuirass later on. And the Darkseer going to be chased out. Looks like they're ready to fight again. Checking the Roche pit real quick. And here we go. Rush down the tower. Luna up and ready to face tank it. Going to build lifesteal last after the butterfly. Tier 2 is gone. Absurdly hard with Empower on. Doing in excess of 320 damage. And all Meenix can do, really, is wait it out. Fuzzy just continues to farm up. He's got almost enough for 2 Mithril Hammers if he wants to go Desolator. I mean, at this point, he's got the... I guess Mantis Style would be another decent choice for him. But against this lineup, again, so AoE-oriented, I don't know that it really matters. And this is not what you generally want out of a TA. He's been pretty quiet, all things considered. Sitting at 1-3-1, I guess saying he's been pretty quiet is an understatement. And TA's a snowball hero. She needs a good start at mid, good levels, good farm. Then she needs to start being a terror around the map, otherwise she ends up like this. Doing nothing but farming items that are almost past irrelevancy by the time they come out. 9-1 for Luna. Did an excellent game there. Really dealt with the pressure out of that offensive tri-lane exceptionally well. See the smoke up out of Meenix. And they may have a chance to get the Luna. There's the bat, though. And Light Striker Ray going to be off the mark. There's the Eclipse. A lot of creeps to soak that damage, though. And they are going to be caught together. There's the lasso. RP going to catch one. That's just going to be the bear, though. RPs have been a little questionable all game long. Shackle shot. Locks Sono down. And Sheep will eat the Laguna Blade. It is going to be a support. No! Sheep manages to survive. And there's the Skewers just to keep the Darkseer in place. That's going to be a full wipe, and the GG is called. So Meenix held on as long as they could. But in the end, typical mistakes, able to grind him out. And put a pretty ugly loss on the board for Meenix. 23-3. By the time all said and done, 15,000 experience, or gold I should say, 20,000 experience going in the direction of typical mistakes. Once again, we'll be trying to get Beat back on the line for game number 2. And I know that the maintenance is supposed to occur sometime very, very soon. But, yeah. Hopefully it won't interrupt things too terribly bad. Want to thank you guys for being a part of the broadcast, tuning in here in the evening hours. Getting towards evening-ish, probably about 5 o'clock now, Pacific Daylight Time. And Eastern Daylight Time, probably on towards 8 o'clock. We have any Europeans in the house, much love to you, and all my love goes to the South America viewership. Really enjoying getting to know some of the South American teams. Arctic, the Peruvian squad, enjoyed watching them yesterday. And really want to get to know you guys, so all of you South American viewers, I'll try to chat in between the games like I always do. So let me know where you're from. I love hearing just how international. There we go. I guess that's the way to put it. Just how international our stream viewership happens to be. once again, typical mistakes. Walks away with a pretty lopsided victory. I mean, they only beat him by 2, right? Oops, never mind. That's a 2 next to the 3. 23-3. The official, the final kill score, 34 minutes, 47 seconds. The official game time. Put this one in the books. We got our next series coming up. Next, going to be Team Dignitas taking on, I want to say it's one of these two, actually. I want to say it's Typical Mistakes, if I'm not mistaken. It's either that or Meenix, one of the two. Both of these teams will be back in action at least once more tonight. Dignitas plays in both of our following series. I'm here in AC Chambers. Make sure you hit follow here on twitch.tv/American Dota League. Don't want you to miss a minute of this action moving forward. And of course, would love it if you'd hit follow on Twitter as well. You can find me at AC, at AYESEE, and on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/ACTV. You can also find links to all of my various social media outlets at the bottom of that Twitch account. The American Dota League, Week 1, Day 2, Game 1 in the books. Game 2 coming up next.